Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our iBUG Buzz, episode number 577 on Monday, March 27th. My name is Marie, and I will be facilitating the call tonight along with our lovely lady, Sandhya Rao. And this call is all about iOS, and that includes iPhones, iPads, iPod Touch, Apple Watch, and Apple TV. We also can discuss the devices that we use with these products, as well as the apps that we use. And the main purpose of this call is to have you feel more comfortable and more proficient with using the accessibility features that are offered by the world of Apple. And before we get started, I'd like to turn it over to Sandhya, who has, I'm sure, some very exciting events to announce and tell us about. So, Sandhya, are you ready?
All right. Yes. Thank you, Marie. Yes, we have lots of stuff going on this week. All time central, all things on Zoom unless specified otherwise. So, for the next 2 hours, we're going to be doing iBug Buzz. At the midpoint, we will have our big reveal of the movie. So, we'll talk a little more about that in just a second. Tomorrow, we have two events on Tuesday. We have the Clubhouse mini buzz. So, continuation kind of what we're doing right now tomorrow on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. Then in the evening, we have Mac and Talk from 7 to 8:30. All questions relating to your Mac. Please come there and ask them and listen to what others have to say about their Mac and their experience. Wednesday, we're off. Thursday, we're off. Yes, enjoy, because we have the 5th Wednesday and 5th Thursday. How cool is that? Then Friday's iBug Night at the Virtual Movies at 8 p.m. We'll have an audio described movie. 7:30 social time, we'll have some jokes and some name that tune and general silliness. And after the movie, we'll have discussion and trivia. So come for that. And then on Saturday, we have iBug Unplugged. We are in for a treat. It's music and memories with Pete Lane. We'll be talking about the 70s this time. We did one earlier the end of last year with the 60s, so this should be fun. That'll be at 8 p.m. Central on Zoom. So please join us for any and all of these events. Let's see, what else do we have? We all should already have the iBug workshop from Saturday. We covered a lot of good stuff there. We had the latest Apple news. We had a demo from Kushal talking about how to make ringtones. So that was on your iPhone, no computer needed. So definitely check that out. And then we had Pete Lane did a demo of how to manipulate things on your home screen, creating folders and deleting things and generally just getting to really organize your home screen. So definitely check that out as well. We also had a discussion of CSUN. Brad told us all about all the good stuff he observed. So lots of different things that we talked about. So check it out. Okay, social media. We have a website, ibugtoday.org. It's our website. That's the best place to get all the information. Encourage you to register there. It's free, and then you'll get notifications by email of all of our upcoming events. You can also go to facebook.com/group/ibugtoday, post questions there, help others with their questions. You can also follow us on Twitter at iBugToday, Instagram at iBugToday. You can always send us an email with non-technical questions at ibugtoday@gmail.com. And we also are you can also listen to all of our training podcasts on our website, or you can listen on YouTube, or you can listen on your favorite podcast app, and then you can review what we have talked about. Sometimes we go a little bit quickly. For some people, it's too slow. Some people, it's too fast. So at that time, you can go back and review what you need to review at your own leisure. So that's encouraged. Definitely check that out. We are also a nonprofit, and in honor of that, to support our nonprofit, we're having a drawing. For $10, you have the option of winning, an opportunity to win $500 tech shopping spree. So you can spend it at the Apple Store, the Google Store, or Amazon. Your choice. And if you want to improve your chances, you can buy 6 tickets for $50. All the information for making payment and making your donation is on our website. We truly appreciate your support. The drawing will be on May 20th at our 12th anniversary. You do not need to be there to win. Also, encourage your friends or buy a ticket for your friend. If they win, joy, just think of all the points you'll get. I would be your friend if you gave me $500, right? Okay, so that's how we get friends. But okay, with that, Marie, I'm going to hand it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sandhya. We've got lots coming up as usual. We do a lot of calls. So now what we're going to do before we start our Q&A session is I'd like to go around and have everybody introduce themselves. Please say your name and where you're from, and please tell us if you are new to this call or to iBUG. Hi, Julie.
Janet in Colorado.
Okay.
This is Brad in Dallas.
Hi, Brad.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm sorry,
Hi.
Gary.
Gary in Austin.
Welcome,
Honey
Gary.
in Houston.
Vincent, New
Welcome.
Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. Good.
Ned
Karen
from
in Philly.
Texas.
Hi, Ned.
Karen in Philly.
Hi, Karen.
Dana,
Helene.
Cincinnati.
Hello, Mr. Dana.
Hey.
Ed from Georgetown.
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
Welcome. We have
Pete,
Jerry from
Jacksonville.
Oklahoma.
Herbie
Hi,
in
Pete. And
Houston.
who from Oklahoma?
Jerry.
Jerry. Okay, welcome.
Herbie in
Judy?
Houston.
Hello, Herbie.
Somebody else
And
too.
Southern California.
Welcome from California.
Yeah, Judy in Connecticut.
Oh, hi, Judy.
David from Arkansas.
Hi, David.
Angelo in Ottawa.
Hello, Angelo. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good. So, I'm pretty good so far.
This is Roy, somewhere between Bowie and Fort Worth.
All right. All right now.
Hi, Roy.
From Virginia.
Hello, Sri.
Marvin in Chicago.
Marvin, welcome.
Arlene, North Carolina.
Hello, Arlene.
Hi.
Miss Arlene.
Greg in Texas.
Hi, Greg. Exciting
Jody in New Hampshire.
question. Oh, hi, Jody. All right. Who has our first?
Hi, Marie. This is Jody
Go ahead, Jody.
typing. My question is there a way to block a sender in an email?
This is Roy.
Go ahead, Roy.
Jody, I think, I didn't test it, but I believe if you get on the email and do a long press, the single finger double tap and hold, at the bottom of that context menu will be a block for a particular email.
Okay, thank you. From within the body of the message?
No, on the message in the inbox. Don't open it, just get on it.
Oh, don't
I
open
think.
it. Okay.
Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Gary.
I remember doing it. I did open the message and I got on the heading part where it says from. I think I had triple tapped on that. And then I think there was a block thing in there somewhere. It's been a long time since I've done it, but I remember doing it that way.
So that way, if you've got one open already, you might try doing it on the from field. Yeah. See that?
Yeah, from whoever, Joe Jones, you don't want to hear from Joe Jones. You triple tap on there and it'll, I think, all the way go past all the choices. And there's a block in there. At least there was a few iOS things ago.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple of possibilities, Jody.
Thank you.
So, next question.
This is Dan with a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is regarding the TuneIn app on the iPhone that they're currently promoting sports coverage on TuneIn. What I'm wondering is anybody using TuneIn Premium? And if so, do they provide play-by-play sports coverage? Because I'm not interested in sports commentary. I'm interested in play-by-play coverage. So I'm wondering if that's available through TuneIn Premium.
Gary.
Okay, go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I do have TuneIn Premium, and I believe they do have MLB there, and I think they're doing a Final Four this weekend.
Okay,
And they
but
do have
they-
play-by-play. It is
This is
play-by-play.
Janet.
Go ahead, Janet.
Just to let you know, it's $12.99 a month or something like that. Yes, they do have MLB. When you go into the TuneIn Premium to try to want to get it, it'll tell you MLB, NHL, Pro Football, and all those.
Okay, but it is play-by-play.
Yes, it's play-by-play.
Yeah, play-by-play. Yeah. I guess you pick on
Okay.
the game I've never played it. I guess you pick on the game you want. I guess in the TuneIn
Yeah, I think that's how you did. I don't.
Premium thing, and I've never played with it. I've just seen it.
Okay. I believe that they no longer have the NFL games
No,
any
they
longer.
didn't have. I don't think they had NFL last year.
They
but
had no,
do
they didn't have it
MLB right
last
now.
year. But you can get the MLB app for $30 a year.
Yeah.
And you get all the
Tune
games.
in. It's a little cheaper than the MLB app, but the MLB app probably has more baseball-oriented talk on it. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question.
This is Doc Wright in Colorado. In the addition on that email question concerning blocking the sender, there was one step that was left out. When you do the double tap and hold, you go down to more and double tap there, and then all the way near the end, they'll say block sender.
Oh, good tip. Thank you. Okay, do we have another question?
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
So I was sending an email, I was adding an attachment, which was a photo. But I noticed that the photo, when I was trying to attach it, would not give me a date and timestamp of the photo that I'm selecting. Is that something that got recently added? Because right now, when I try to find a photo, I'm going to have a hard time because there's no timestamp on it.
Okay, who has a solution for us? Would there be a possibility, Sri, that you might be better off to start with the photo itself in the photo gallery and then do a share?
Yep, it's a possibility.
If you can't see, the date and time, if you're trying to do it as an attachment, that
Yeah,
might be a way around it.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if there were some settings that I turned on that caused this.
This is Roy.
Go ahead, Roy.
Sri, wouldn't that be tied to location services? Perhaps that's been turned off by mistake.
This is Sri. Is this location services in general or location service with the photo?
I would think in general would cover all apps.
Yeah, my general is turned on.
Jerry from Oklahoma.
Go ahead.
Does anyone else have the problem of, number one, I'm hard of hearing, so volume on different things really matter. And I have more trouble keeping all of my volumes not the same, but like now when all the people are talking, and then I try to use voiceover and swipe to find that mute or unmute button, the voice is so soft I can barely hear it. And so I have to keep hitting it and try to catch it between people's pauses. But then, when we hang up from the Zoom, maybe I'll go listen to one of my podcasts and it's just screaming at me. No, down. And I try to keep checking my rotary and the volume is in there. That doesn't seem to make a difference. I check the volume on the side of my phone and I also control panel. And I can't seem to change either the voiceover or people talking, or like when you're in a meeting or podcast.
This is Brad.
Go ahead, Brad.
Well, I'm not exactly sure how to address your issue, but just to make you aware, there's a couple of things. First of all, the volume in your rotor, that adjusts the volume of voiceover relative to the system volume. So, for example, if you set that at, say, 85%, that means it's 85% of full voiceover volume at whatever volume your system volume is. So if you're listening to a podcast or something, you adjust your volume with the side buttons. That should be the one you want to try to adjust the volume when you're listening to content like a podcast. Also be aware that when you're on Zoom's going to kind of lower voiceover's volume a little bit. And it's a little harder to hear when you're on a Zoom call. So that's when you might want to adjust your voiceover volume either up or down so that you can adjust the volume of voiceover relative to the volume that you're hearing on the call on Zoom. You can adjust voiceover like separately that way. Then you might want to hang on. Then you might want to also go into your settings and go to sounds and haptics.
Yes.
And there is an option in there to make it so that the side buttons do not change the volume of your ringer and notifications, so that you can set them on, say, 50% of full volume, and then they'll stay that way. And when you adjust the volume of a podcast, it won't accidentally adjust the volume of a ringer.
Okay, great. I apologize. This is Jerry. I apologize, Brad. I thought you were through talking.
That's
I didn't
okay.
mean
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt. But when you can I ask him a question, Sonia?
Separate. You want a separate question?
Yeah.
This is Marie.
I just had the one question, Brad. When you say system volume, where is that, or how do you?
That means just the regular volume of what you hear, the volume of your iPhone. Okay.
How do you check that, or how do you know what that is?
That's what you change when you're using the side buttons. So when you're listening to a podcast, you're changing the system volume, the volume of the iPhone, the volume that it plays things.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay.
All right.
As opposed to going to settings and sounds and haptics, and that's where you can adjust the volume of ringers and alerts versus using the rotor, which adjusts the volume of voiceover.
Right.
And all of this is, and the volume of voiceover is, like I said, you can have it set at 85%, but when you adjust system volume, you're also going to adjust voiceover along with everything else. It's just the voiceover volume is set relative to the system volume.
Of whatever particular you're listening to.
Whatever you've got going on, you can adjust how loud or how soft voiceover is. And that's just the voiceover voice, not to be confused with the little sound effects that voiceover makes.
Right. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. I think I've tried all those, but I'll just keep trying. All right. Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Sonia.
Okay, good. This is Marie, not Sandhya. Anyway, the one that spells it. Go ahead, Roy.
Just a short little thing that I find that helps. If voiceover volume's really low, if you'll touch the screen, that way voiceover speaking, and then hit the volume up 4 or 5 times quickly, that'll increase your voiceover volume on the fly.
This is Pete.
Go ahead, Pete.
I just wanted to amplify a little bit what Roy, no pun intended with the amplify. I wanted to add to what Roy was saying there. Jerry, if you're in a bind where you can't hear your voiceover because the other sounds are too loud, as long as you get voiceover starting to talk. And what I do is I do a 2-finger swipe up, which is the read all command with voiceover. That starts voiceover at the top of the screen, Then you hit your up volume as voiceover is in the process of speaking, and it will raise the voiceover volume only. And the other background sounds seem to stay put. So if you're in a bind like on Zoom or something else is overpowering your voiceover, just get voiceover talking like Roy said, and then hit your up volume switch on the top left, and that should do it.
Great.
Give it a shot.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
you, guys.
great. Let's move on to a new question now. Who has a new question for us?
Hello, this is Brian.
Zoom.us has new.
Go ahead, Brian.
Currently unmuted.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I started using the iPhone, and I noticed I start to flick around the home screen, and I hear very often edit field, and then it says some other response a little bit later, and I don't quite understand what I'm doing because I just look at like going through the apps on the home screen, and suddenly it'll say that. I think it says edit field, and then it says another prompt again, like return to, I don't remember. Sorry, but anybody know what I'm talking about? I'll just let you try.
Okay, somebody giving some hints on using the home screen. And is it a possibility that it's saying edit mode?
Oh, certainly it's a possibility. If I'm listening, it's a possibility, absolutely. And Greg's doing his best with me, but it's a challenge.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
So what's happening is when you're navigating on the home screen, we really want to navigate swiping left or right. So if you swipe to the left, you go to the previous element. And if you swipe right, you go to the next element. But if you swipe up or down, then you get the action item, which is where you hear the edit and drag. And that it does that option. So just when you're in the home screen, you only need to swipe up or down if you're trying to edit that particular element. Otherwise, you're just going to swipe left or right.
Very good, very clear.
Has new window.
I'm just not sure am I left or my right sometimes. I mean, up and down. Anyway, I got it.
Okay. Does that help some, Brian? I think that flicking up and down is what gets you into edit mode. That's why I ask you if it possibly was saying edit mode. If you're on an icon and you flip up or down, that's what happens. Okay, new question.
This is Jana. Doc has an update for Sri.
This is David.
Go ahead, David.
I've noticed a couple of times this has happened to me. It kind of correlates to what a person was saying earlier about the volume. Sometimes my system volume will just go to like real low, and I can't control it with the side buttons. It doesn't improve it at all. And then voiceover is very low, of course. And I usually just have to reboot the phone to kind of get it back to the normal volume. And I'm not doing the volume. I don't have the volume in the rotor either, where you can accidentally turn your voiceover volume down real low. It's kind of like the overall system volume is just at a very low rate. And if I'm in a noisy environment and don't have my headphones, I can barely hear anything. So I don't know if that's happened to other people. I mean, I don't know if it's a iOS 16 thing or something with my hardware. I'm not sure.
Anybody have a remedy? Go ahead, Sri.
David, do you think this could be a proximity sensor issue where it thinks something is covering it and thus it's going to the earpiece?
This is not when I'm on a phone call. This is when I'm just navigating the phone. Just generally, just kind of moving around to the home screen or trying to open an app.
Do you think you're blocking the proximity sensor when you're doing that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I thought that only affected phone calls. Like it switches to speakerphone mode. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Like when you take it away from your ear, it goes to speakerphone, and then we put it back to your ear. It goes to the main speaker.
It's Roy.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Roy.
Oh, go ahead, Roy.
David, what I would try is ask Siri a question because that's tied to your system volume. And as she's answering, hit your volume up quickly 3 or 4 times. I'll bet you the system volume would go up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could try that.
Just another hunch.
I guess I'm wondering why it's happening. It's kind of. I don't know if y'all have that same problem. Maybe it sounds like you do sometimes. And I don't know if it's tied to voiceover only or it happens to everybody.
And David, which phone do you have?
I've got the 14 Pro.
Okay.
So it's a very new phone.
This is Brad.
Go ahead, Brad.
Sometimes when I've had weird things like this happen, David, I have number one, tried cycling voiceover off and then back on again. And if that doesn't do it, I just shut down the phone and restart it. It's a good idea to do that to your phone every now and then, you know. That's one of these things people forget. You never turn them off, and it might go days, weeks without ever having the reason to turn it down or shut it down and turn it back on again. But that will correct a lot of gremlins. So you might give that a try.
This is David.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I guess I'm just going to have to put it on my calendar, you know, reboot my phone every week or something. Yeah, I don't do it as often. As long as it's running, I can't leave it.
Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to hear your calendar when you do that. I don't know if 3 answered the question, but I think when you asked about the proximity sensor, I believe the proximity sensor activates no matter what audio you're listening to. I think, or it's certainly not just limited to a phone call.
This is Herbie.
And I was going to reiterate what I said. Hang on, Herbie. Sorry. Earlier, whenever my voiceover is low, I do a 2-finger swipe up, which starts voiceover, you know, speaking from the top of the screen. So you get voiceover speaking constantly. Then I work my up volume button. I hit it several times, and eventually it gets loud enough for me to hear it. So again, I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to all of that, but that usually gets my voiceover back up loud enough. Once it starts talking, hit the up arrow, the up volume switch, you know, repeatedly, and it might come back. I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, Herbie, go ahead, and then
All
we'll
right,
move
so
on.
2 things. First of all, I just want to clarify about